Okay, so in the previous lesson, we wrapped up doing the line work, the refined line work for our second character. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in here on our third shape here. Now, this shape is a little different in the fact that the previous two shapes had a lot of different curves and ins and outs to them. This shape is a little smoother, if you will, and you know, when it comes to shapes like this, I find it an opportunity to have a little bit more creative freedom. So we can take a look at this shape from some different angles really quickly, see if there's any other opportunities to bring out a character that really present themselves to us. Now, I do see a little bit of an opportunity here, but I'm already kind of seeing a character in its original state. Flipped just like this. So I think we're going to go with this. If you want to go ahead and rotate that around and pull out a different character, feel free to do that. So I'm going to come in here and let's go ahead and just drop the opacity for that layer down just a little bit here. Dropping it down about 35% or so. And we'll come over and select our rough line work layer and we'll just get busy drawing this character. So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a very long neck out of this shape. I'm seeing a small head and a wider base for this neck. So we may actually take some creative liberties when it comes to actually grounding that neck into some shoulders here in just a moment, but let's go ahead and just kind of determine where the center of this head is going to be. Just kind of draw that line in there just like so. Now I'm looking at the top of this head and it seems almost kind of pointy. So maybe this is a fairly muscular guy, and you know he's got a smaller head, very large body, and you know obviously a very long, large, thick neck. So let's go ahead and come down here and just maybe do some profile work on this opposite side of his face. Coming down and we'll put in his eyes, a little marker for that, and maybe a marker for his nose, and then for his mouth. And we'll come down here and, you know, for this guy, I'm thinking I kind of want to make him wearing sunglasses. So I'm going to come down here. We'll skip over those for right now. Let's go to his cheekbone here. And we'll come over here. And we've got his mouth right about here. Maybe he's got kind of a protruding lower lip. Coming down to his chin at this point. Just kind of giving him a nice boxy chin here. Now, in this case, we're going to see quite a bit of this jaw right here as it comes up towards where his ear is. Now, the ear is probably going to be back in this neighborhood somewhere, so we'll actually handle that here in just a moment because we've got this curve right here we're going to deal with. So notice as I'm working through this line work, I'm staying fairly loose. I'm making really quick, short, little sketchy type lines, but I'm just kind of trying to feel out where the details of this character are. So we'll come in here and drop in a rough shape for his nose. You know, that nose, we're actually going to see a little bit more of the lower side of it, or the underside of it, because he's looking up in the air at this angle. So we're going to see more of this nostril right here, and more of this area underneath his nose. So we'll just come in and draw that sort of like that. And, you know, I mentioned he was probably going to be wearing sunglasses or something like that. So we'll just come in and give him some nice hip-hop rap star type sunglasses here. Something like that. And let's go ahead and work on the top of his head here a little bit. You know, I mentioned it's kind of pointy. Let's go ahead and accentuate that just a little bit here. Bring that down. Now, you know, I mentioned that we have this interesting curve over here at the side, and, you know, playing on the fact that, you know, maybe this guy is some kind of a musician. Maybe he's a hip-hop artist or something like that. Maybe he could be wearing some headphones. So maybe we got, excuse me, some headphones right here that we could add in. Just come in and kind of do an ellipse right there. And just kind of roughly plan out for that top piece of the headphones that goes around the top of his head. And let's see here. Come in and do a little ring right there. Draw in this connection piece right here. Alright, now, again, you know, whatever character you're drawing is completely up to you. Don't feel restricted to draw the exact same character I'm drawing here. This is, again, an exercise really more about drawing what you see in a shape. So, I'm drawing what I see. If you see something different, feel free to draw that. And that'll work for the headphones there. Let's come in and kind of refine this jaw out a little bit more. Maybe we can come over here and kind of hint on that cheekbone right there. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Let's come over here and work on his neck just a little bit. Now we've already drawn in sort of this chin shape. Let's bring in maybe a line there and then give him this really thick neck. Really muscular neck. So, and you know, this curve right here at the base of his neck is just about the right spot to be maybe the neck of a shirt of some kind. So maybe he's wearing a t-shirt or something like that, and we can come in and draw this neck sort of like this. Alright, so he's looking pretty good at this point. We've left a little bit of a piece off of his sunglasses here. Maybe the piece that goes back and around his ear. Just kind of shade those in here, just kind of thinking about color and, you know, what color, if any, we're going to apply to those sunglasses. Let's go ahead and work on grounding this a little bit. Now, we're going to work outside the boundaries of our shape at this point. I think that what I'd like to do is maybe give him some kind of a big poofy jacket, something like that. So I'm going to come in and draw sort of a neck for this jacket, just kind of loosely. Maybe it has a little bit of a curl to it, so just come in and draw that sort of like that. Bring that down. I might even zoom out just a little bit here. Let's come in and draw the underside of that. That's you know, that's folding over. All right, so looking pretty good at this point. Coming in and drawing again the underside of this this neck of his jacket. Just like so. And maybe we come in and kind of hint at some shoulders here. I'm going to carry this line on through, just sort of like that. And, you know, I think it might be kind of neat to give him some kind of a big, heavy necklace here. Something that, you know, maybe if he's a hip-hop artist, maybe he's got some kind of a gold chain on here. Maybe it's got some kind of an emblem on the end of it. Heck, let's go ahead and just put a dollar sign on it. Just sort of like that. We can actually refine that more here in just a little bit. Alright, so this guy's starting to look pretty good. I'm starting to really feel this character. And, you know, that's a good point. There comes a point when you're doing this this exercise that you really start to feel good about a character. You start to really feel that the character's evolving nicely, and you're starting to get sort of into the details you've added here. And, you know, I'm starting to feel that for this character. So, and, you know, that's... I know that's maybe a hard thing to grasp, but being able to really be into a character and feel the flow of the character is something that is important. Because if you're not feeling a character, then, you know, it's going to show in your work. So right now I'm coming in here and just kind of putting in sort of some lines in this vest or this jacket that he's wearing. I almost envision this to be, you know, maybe one of those life preserver style jackets that's made out of nylon and has some dimpling in it. So I'm just kind of hinting at that here now. When we get into coloring this guy, we'll actually play that up just a little bit more in the reflections on the jacket, and, you know, thinking about light source, things like that. So at this point, we pretty much have all of the initial details kind of flushed out. So if I'm going to spend any more time on my rough line work here, it's going to be spent in just sort of refining these details, getting them to look exactly the way I want them to look. You know, maybe coming in and flushing out the curves and the lines in this this collar for his jacket. Maybe coming in and drawing in some folds in the jacket underneath this. Sort of like that. Just giving it a little bit of perspective, if you will. Alright, and, you know, we may come in and, you know, I'm not really feeling real good about his nose right now. I may come in and actually clean that up just a little bit between lessons and make that a little straighter here. Actually, let's just go ahead and do that now. It's looking a little bit better. So, you know, we could even probably come in and hint at some of the lines and the muscles for his neck. So maybe we can kind of hint at that Adam's apple there, and some of these larger muscles that wrap around the neck and kind of connect up here. So just kind of hinting at those lines. I don't want to make those too dominant. I don't want to draw too much attention with those lines. And maybe we could come in here and just kind of detail out and give us some information for this chain here. We're going to actually address that when we get into refining the line work, but I think knowing that that's a chain and not just a rope or some other kind of necklace is going to be important when we get to the next stage. So in this lesson, we have worked on the rough line work for our third character. In the next lesson, we'll pick up where we're leaving off here, and we'll go ahead and refine this line work.